restaurant napkins. They'll decompose.
Yeah, those are big. I get 3 of them. Alright, you want to make sure, since you've got these 2 wicking wells over here, that you get soil down in that. So put your soil in there, beat it down in there with your fist. And at this point, I'll go ahead and use your fertilizer since I forgot they said you got the whole kit.
I bought the whole kit. The whole kit and caboodle.
Put it up about halfway. And then you'll pour in your lime, dolomite, not hydrated lime, don't use hydrated lime.
Did you say that was 1 pound?
1 pound, yes. 1 pound of lime, mix it in. At this point, you can wet it down. Go ahead and start hydrating, because it's going to shrink. It's going to, as you wet it, it's going to crack down some. We can do that now. You said you want it, okay, or no water?
Does it leak out the bottom of that? Then yeah, let's not.
Yeah, it's got a, it's got an overflow. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
If you tilt it just wrong, yeah. So, all right. So we did that. Put the rest of it in here. Well, we're going on this one. We're going to do it.
Hard to get a hold of it, yeah.
That's the way to do it. On this, we're going to leave room for putting mulch on top, because I think blackberries just love mulch. On a regular EarthBox, if you're planting vegetables, you want to mound it up, even after you wet it down. You want to mound it up because you're going to put this bonnet on there, and that bonnet is sheds the water, because when you fertilize it, if you get rain through it, it'll wash some of that fertilizer out the relief hole on the bottom. So you want it to be a contained thing. But we're not going to put a bonnet on for blackberries because you won't, the shoots coming out. So we'll leave a couple of inches. Back it down. I was getting a good shot of my butt.
Good.
There you go.
It's been 50 years. He's probably used to that by now.
And which one do you want to put in here?
We can do the.
You can do all the same one across there?
We're going to do all the freedoms across here.
Okay.
How many did you want to plant for across here? There's 6 of the 7 of the Palmar freedoms.
When I planted the Wachitas, I put one on each side, but I don't think it's necessary. Now we need to put the fertilizer strip right there. Fertilizer strip goes on the same side as the watering tube. This is how you water it, down the watering tube. And if you want to add some other things, if you're planting tomatoes, you may want to put some Epsom salt in it, that magnesium sulfate or something. What? It's up to you.
Do you think 2 will be better, or should we just do 1?
They're going to spread out so quick. I think one's plenty.
Okay.
And cover the fertilizer strip up, and we'll plant here, right in the middle of it.
Okay.
This will plant the same depth as it is in the pot. You can take that off later. That's about all there is to it. Blackberries are pretty unforgiving. They just don't, they're pretty unforgiving. I wouldn't wait too much longer. Yeah. I wouldn't wait too much longer.
You're getting towards the end.
And there again, I would make sure you got a good irrigation plan, either system in place or a plan in place in your head. But that one, when you get home, just water it real good from the top to start your peat getting wet. Once it gets wet, then it's harder for it to wick. Doesn't make sense, but it's harder for it to wick when it's dry than it is when it's wet. So you don't want to ever let your EarthBox get dry, and or wicking tub either.
Anytime the soil gets dry on a wicking tub like this, or even in the ground, the water has that surface tension, and it's hard to break that tension. If the ground is slightly wet, has a little bit of moisture to it, it's going to soak in a lot easier and faster. But if it's bone dry, you've probably seen it a million times, it just rolls right off.
Yep. And peat's real bad about that.
Yeah, peat is bad about that.
Okay, there's the EarthBox. Talk about construction of the wicking tub. Some of you already made them. But basically, it's a fill tube, 1.25 inches. It's what I like. And it's this corrugated French drain pipe. This is perforated, got little bitty slits in it. You don't have to. I like it best. I think it's probably better to have. Somebody mentioned the hybrid tub that I thought of. I did a video on building this tub, but doing it a little bit differently, in that they sell this material that's already got the sock on it, and I would just take and just gather that and put a tie wrap on the end. Now on that one I did 3. Normally I would do 3 pieces, one long one in the middle and 2 short ones on the side. But now, I saw Mr. Leon do this the other day, and I like the idea better. But I would go with a socked tube, and then it's like 10, you can find them in 10-foot lengths. 10 foot should do 2 wicking tubs, I think, because this is about 4, maybe not quite 4 feet. And all these tubs are a little bit different, so if you got about different colors and stuff like that, it's going to be different. Because he was cutting his 4 feet 4 inches, and I cut this one 4 feet 4 inches, and I couldn't get in there for nothing. So the hole, however tall your pipe is, this is 4-inch pipe, you want your weep hole 1 inch below that. So this is a 3-inch weep hole. Weep hole's 3 inches from the bottom, and you want these 2 ends to come together, because you want your fill tube on the opposite side of your weep hole. So this goes in there like this, and just leaves a ring like that. And then this, and all I did was just come in here with some landscape cloth and just tie wrapped it on the ends. But again, it'd be easier if you had the socked material, and just pull some of that sock out. And you may run out of sock, but pull that sock out, put a tie wrap on it, and the other end, make it a whole lot easier. And then put that down in the middle. There's your 2 wicks right there. So you want to be able to, when you put the mix in there, you want to make sure you get down in there, because that's where your water is going to wick back up. Because your water typically is going to stay 1 inch below this right here. Same in the EarthBox. Your water is about 1 inch below that grate, that black grate that we saw in there. And that allows your plants to what's called air prune. Roots won't grow in air. So the roots come down to that pipe right there, or go down to that grate in the EarthBox, and they hit that and they stop. And then what they do, they tell the plant, I can't grow any more roots. So it starts growing those lateral roots. And so you get a huge root ball, bigger root ball when you air prune like that. Happens also in grow bags too. That fabric grow bag, it'll hit the outside of those bags and it'll stop and air prune. And that's where you get a lot more denser root ball. So right here we've got the 2 wells. Down there we're gonna dump in, and let's put the pipe in. You want the pipe, you don't want to put the pipe in there like that, because it may or may not work. Put it with a beveled end, so it's not gonna stop up the pipe. And it's on the opposite side of the hole, I think, yep. Opposite side of the hole.
More dirt.
All right, mow dirt. All right, at this point, I'll put my lime in. This is just a pelleted lime. Mixed it in about the first 4, 5, 6 inches. Now, something I didn't do is get down in there Let's see where I'm running. Holes right there. I need to get down there and push dirt down in those wells, and I forgot to do that. We got carried away with the dump.
Well, you know, and doing it live is different than doing it on the
Yes, it is.
You get outtakes on it.
Oh, lots and lots of outtakes. So mix it in, pack it down. I'm not going to go a lot deeper than that, simply because I really would like to see you put wood chips, a couple of inches of wood chips on top. But what I do when I fertilize vegetables, blackberries, just about anything I plant, I go around the rim. Now this is synthetic. This is 13. But I've never burnt one doing it this way. And I just put it around the rim, and I'll do that the second year too. I mean, if I've got an established plant, I won't do a pound maybe, but I'll do a few tablespoons, and I'll just come in here and if I've got wood chips on it, I'll just rake them back, and you'll feel the roots. It's got a lot of roots, but rake it back, put a tablespoon in it, and I may do 3 places, put a tablespoon in 3 places around it, and put a little bit more dirt on it, not much. We can do it without dumping out the low load.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, that's probably plenty. All right, let's plant one in it. Now these are ponca, right?
Ponca, yeah.
The ponca is a floor cane. I thought they were primocanes, but I did not get any berries last year. They are floor canes. And when you're raking your dirt back, don't rake a bunch of fertilizer back with it either. Just make sure it's dirt. Now he said we can water this in, so we can if you want to.
Great.
Anybody else want to get your hands dirty? Somebody may want to. Anybody want to help plant those?
One thing I'll recommend real quick while we're doing this hose has been sitting out here, this water.
Oh yes.
Out in here, always let the water out and let it run first before you can water any of your plants.
That'll scald you.
It'll scald the roots, it'll scald the plant.
Especially if you have a black hose. Woo!
Yeah. So we'll give this a minute to run here. Who won this one?
I did.
Oh, all right.
Watering's going in this.
Going in too.
Is there holes in there?
Got that.
Or is this just going down?
No, it's just going down. That's why you put that bevel on it, so it doesn't just sit flat on it. It has just suction there.
After the initial, it goes in there.
Yeah. I mean, I water, like I say, my drip system is on top, and I water from the top sometimes. But it doesn't matter. You can water from the top. If you want to fertilize, you can do some fertilizer on top and then water it in from the top. And I just watch the hole and make sure I'm not just running fertilizer out.
Sorry, we got 200 feet of hose here.
Oh.
To me, that peat's hard to work with to get it saturated that
It is.
time.
It is.
You happy with your tank now?
My take.
Tank. Your pond.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's gonna get real dry because I don't have it's not spring fed, but
That's the same as ours.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna need a lot more water than that, but you can stop for now if you want to. And then after the initial watering on this or the EarthBox, after it's saturated, soaked in, then you'll water from then on. I say from then on. From then on, you can water only down the tube. But like I said, my irrigation system, I've got it like this laying across all my tubs, and I've got an emitter poked in it, and I water from the top. Some days I'll go out there, and when I fertilize, I'll put the fertilizer down here and I'll water from that. But this time of year, I don't have it hooked up, so I'm watering down the hole. So, but it really doesn't matter. But just for, see.
So something I wanted to show
Yeah.
to people is
Dry.
we're about 3 to 4 inches down and it's dry. And the point is that it takes a lot of water to really get this soaked the first time,
Yeah.
and then it's easier every time thereafter. But don't sit here in water for 2 minutes and think, oh look, it's all wet, water's running down through it, it's going to be fine.
If you see water running down out the hole, maybe you've got enough water, but
what I tell
it's
people,
going to take a while.
anytime they're planting a new plant, water it like you're trying to drown it.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's plant, and then we'll do the trellis.
Okay.
Let me see that.
Whatever you need.
Nobody wants to get your hands dirty? Come on. Yes. There you go. So, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Somebody have to do the math. I went to John Tyler. 7 plants in a.
We don't have to do all 7.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you think the best spacing is. Okay.
Well, let's just put one on the ends, maybe a foot in.
Yep.
And then go 4 feet.
Okay.
I got a tape measure somewhere. You gonna do 3 feet or 4 feet?
Whatever you think is best.
Well, it'll fill in for you quicker at 3, but
Let's do 4.
okay.
Give them a little bit of room to stretch out.
All right. That's 4 center to center. Somebody guessed perfect on that one. That's 4. That should come out just about right. Mm-hmm. Right there. You might want to move them all, shift them all this way, maybe 6 inches.
Yep.
And then you should be right. All right. You are the master planner.
That's dangerous.
No. Just take it out of the pot, and you'll just dig a hole, same size as that, basically. Now he laid down. This is all compost. Y'all laid down, correct? I think that's what he said. Just deep enough to get the. Now I say, hell, I'm gonna fall down. It's gonna.
No, because I will too.
It's gonna. I'm afraid some of the bottom of it's going to crumble anyway, but
Yeah.
maybe not. Yeah, we need to go a little deeper.
Yeah.
Let's try that. That's getting close to the top of that. Cover it up. There's one.
Oh, and see, I got the good spot. Hole to pull up.
All right, anybody else want to get after it? We can get them all planted pretty quick. Just get them.
This is all potting, all compost here. God love them. I have great employees. And I said, just get a little bit of compost and put it down here, and they really put it down. So typically, I would recommend that you mix this in with some of the existing
Native soil.
Native soil, absolutely, yes.
You want to do that one?
Sure. Right where it's sitting. You want it?
Yeah. Anybody else want to do that one? If not, I'll do it.
All right.
When can I come back and get my berries?
Well, I guess another point I'd like to make is the whole idea behind having the demonstration garden here is you'll have vegetables back there. There'll be different vine fruits and berries in here. There'll be other trellising items back here like tomatoes and whatever else my wife wants to grow. And then the demonstration orchard is over here so that in 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, everybody always wants to know, well, what's it going to look like in 2 years? Well, now we'll be able,
Now you'll know.
we'll be able to show you. Yeah.
All right. Now, if you're interested in a trellis, this is about the easiest trellis you could ever build. And if I can find the end of this thing. Let's wrap this. I'll tell you what. This is your main walkway. Let's put the ends on the less traveled, because they may be sticking out, some wires sticking out. Hold that. And the first, get my tape measure. You're going to have some canes that when they first come up, they're going to want to get a little askew. And I'm going to, since this is raised here, I'm not going to measure there, I'm going to measure from there. So that's subtracting about 6 inches from that mound there. So I'm going to go up about 18 inches right here and do the first wire. I'm going to leave some because that's where I'm going to tie it off. We're going, when the other one comes around, we'll tie it off here. So it's going to be a mess.
That's all right.
And go inside. No, go outside. That's fine. Let's see where I put this one. At about 2 feet, which is 18 inches above that. So I'll do this one 2 feet. There you go. Just wrap around it real good. Go that away. Do the same thing. Ever since I had COVID, I can't keep my pants up. I didn't have that problem pre-COVID. I guess I had plenty of butt then or something.
Right there. Okay.
I've just never had this problem before.
Just tell people you worked it out.
Well, sometime I do, but 2 feet. Let me go get the clippers. Okay. You go around. Oh, you got them? Okay. Just going around.
You don't want to wrap it on the middle post now, you just steer it.
We'll tie wrap it. That's what I always do. Yeah. You can, but I always tie wrap it and find it to be just fine. If you pull too tight, especially if you've already got one wire up, like we're going to fix to put the second wire up. If we pull that second wire real tight, it's going to pull these posts in, and that's what's going to happen. Yep. It's going to slack. So you can't pull it real tight, but you don't need to, especially if you put your posts this far apart.
Yeah.
A certain gauge or
This is electric fence wire, 17 gauge, galvanized, that way it's not going to rust. Electric fence wire is what I've used. I put trellises on my patch when I had them. You may want to come back and bend these down so nobody snags on that.
Yeah, we can take them off.
Let's just start the next one at about about 18 inches, 16 inches above that.
Okay.
So I'd set that right there. Okay. Well, now wait a minute. That's going to be how high? That's only 3 feet. Let's go ahead and come up here.
Okay.
Because that'll be. You got yours driven in a little further.
Yeah.
So that's 55 inches minus 6 would be 50. And 4 feet's about right. So 48. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Let me get a little bit more.
Yep.
To tie that off.
Sure. Oh yeah, you're going to need some more for the tail.
There you go.
Okay.
Just second notch down.
Notch down. This one or the one below? I think it was this.
Well, they're made a little different.
Made a little different.
And I'm sure glad he beat in these fence posts. That is another job that's just not a lot of fun.
Good?
Yeah. I would suggest you put these ends on a less traveled part of your property, because these ends will stick. You don't want kids walk by and get to poke their eye out or something, so make sure you always curl the wire back on itself and, you know, twist it real good so it's not dangerous to somebody. I'll leave it like that for right now. So when these come up and hit this first wire, if it's leaning this way, I'll go ahead and take that tape machine and tie it to that first wire, and then, because it's already leaning this way anyway, so it won't be long, it'll be on this wire. And then when it gets about right here, I'm gonna cut it off. Now if it's right in the middle, if it's right here, if I've got a few inches above and it falls over, it may miss the wire. So I may go a few inches above that. If it's right next to the wire, I may just take it off right there. We'll put a couple of just do that on the middle posts. And we'll come in here on these. Now these black tie wraps are the best as far as what am I trying to say? Sunlight
Resistance.
resistant, yeah.
UV resistant.
UV, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So you're educated, I'm not.
You need another one down there?
Yep. Folks, that's a trellis. And it probably cost, I don't know, T-posts used to be $1.98. I think they're $7 now, but the wire's cheap. That wire's probably $10, $15 for a quarter mile. And T-posts, you just can't find a better trellis. If you put your post close enough. Now, if you would have to have your middle post. You don't want to just put two on the end, because they're gonna drape out here, because they're gonna get heavy when they get some berries on them, and you need to go ahead and expect those berries. So, what else were we gonna do? Anything?
I think that's it. That's great.
All right, looks good. Looks good.